I gotta ask some questions because you got mad stuff. Like I of course don't get it in the shots, right? I get all these cool shots set up, but none of the racks right next to me. But you got mad cool stuff on these racks, and like I can't tell because you're kind of like a storefront, but then you got a bunch of stuff in the back because you're making the shirts. But then it's also you're in this part of the town where it's like you don't see many storefronts. So like, what is this place?
I don't know. We started off wanting to be we were a screen printing company. We just had the room to have a skate shop. And I don't know if you know this, but skate shops don't make money. So, we were like, all right, so the screen printing and embroidery will make its own money. And then whatever extra comes with having a retail spot is just extra. So just really just ran with it, you know?
So well, the thing is I think what I think about the most with these is you got like there's like a variety of designs. So it's like, are you basically like design team and like so how, like what is even operations like? Because it just looks like volume wise, like it looks like a lot. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of cool stuff.
I come up with some ideas and then I make them. I don't know. So I just like some stuff's my stuff, some of it's my partner John's stuff, some of it is the shop stuff. But like throughout the day you're printing and bullshitting and then you're like, you know what would be cool? A shirt with like Snoopy holding two guns. And then someone's like, what? That's such a good idea. And then someone else is like, that's fucking stupid. And you're like, I'll show you, stupid. And then you like stay late and make it, you know? And then you're like, you're like, no, I'm just going to make 50 of these. What, you know?
So you just kind of do that just because like for the shit of it. You're just like, oh, this is a cool design. Like I just, I could sell these. I got a storefront technically.
Yeah, I give most of it, I would have to say I give most of it away. Like, I'm just like, make stuff. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I clothe my friends and other people, sometimes strangers. Someone's like, yo, that shirt's mad cool. I'm like, take it. Like, I'm like the worst businessman. It could be but it's working. You know, it's working. A few of those shirts I've handed out have translated into actual sales. So I guess it's cheaper than Google Analytics.
1,000,000%, yeah. And I agree with that. I'm actually, let me see. I'm going to kick you one more question because, just a little step behind the things. I'm set up on my own today. You saw me set everything up. So it's like, I'm going to fix a shot, but I told you one cut and I meant it. So I was like, I'll just fix it while you're talking.
Yeah,
so,
I'm into that.
Yeah,
on the fly. I'm impressed.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, a lot of years of this, but I think what I want to ask, something else around that is, so you have like the unique shirts you make, but like that's not all you're making because this isn't really like a retail spot. That's kind of just almost seems like bonus a little bit because you're doing like
the bonus level. You know, the retail spot's just the bonus level. We didn't set out to be a retail spot. We set out to be a screen printing and embroidery shop. You know, but like there's cool parts about having a retail spot is like you could just make your own stuff, sell it, see if it works, see if it doesn't work. You could have you have a spot for your friend to put his brand in. You have a spot for that dude down the street to sell some shirts. Like, it doesn't have to sell because it doesn't pay the rent.
1,000,000%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just kind of give you have an opportunity to have fun, I guess, you know?
I mean, what more could you really want? I think something that I talked about even with like different people, like I've only had a couple of these podcasts, but the common theme is because a lot of people have cool businesses and cool things they do. It's like you have a good lifestyle too. Like, I'm not going to dox you, but like you live close by here. This is your day to day. This is shit you've been doing like forever. And it's cool. You've been able to sustain yourself. Like I think a lot of people undervalue that.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd call it a healthy lifestyle.
Bro, what's a healthy lifestyle?
Yeah, I work too much. I work way too much. Like 12-hour days mostly.
Well, the lines blur a little bit, right?
Blur a little bit. When you live so close, you're just like, you know what? I'll run home and then get back to work, have a sandwich, Then like I try to balance my personal life and business life and it's all blurring together.
So I guess then, actually, before I get on that, because I know we were talking, dude, we got actually a few things going on randomly. Because I wanted to bring up the party a second ago. Like I have this random party uploaded on my channel from in this place, which is really funny because I have like mad Smash Brothers tournament. So it's like so out of place. Like it's just in there. But before I get to that, I don't want to breeze over the operation you have in the back because it is pretty impressive. I know you do everything from screen prints to embroidery, all this stuff. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because it sounds like there's like an art form to this a bit. Like it's not like you just screen print t-shirts and like everything comes out perfect. Like there's a way to do certain things. Some designs aren't the same. You got to break some things down differently than others. Like it's not just like anyone can print a t-shirt or you could buy that shit off of like whatever cheap website, but it's not gonna, there's a reason someone would seek out someone who really understands how to make t-shirts. And I think I just want to know like what that even is. Like what gives you that like certain like spice to what you do?
I don't know. I started because I read an article in Thrasher magazine about how to screen print t-shirts. And then I really wanted to screen print t-shirts for a living. And I was like this young kid and I was hanging out with these older dudes. And then this dude, Mike Devaney, who's a fucking banging ass screen printer, I was like, yeah, I want to be a screen printer. He's like, no, you don't. It fucking sucks. And I'm like, what? And then it just like years later, I brought that up and he's like, no, I love screen printing. I must have just had a bad day. I don't know why I would say that to you.
Yeah.
But it like stuck with me. It was just like an in passing thing from him, but like stuck with me. I was like, if he thinks it sucks, why would I want to do it? You know? But I kept doing it in my like garage, in my basements and in bedrooms. And I ruined a bunch of carpets and my mom was really mad about it. But you know, I started by like burning screens in a closet, washing them out in a shower. It was like cool. It's cool shit. I made a ton of t-shirts, sold them in high school.
That's how you learn, bro. You kind of just mess shit up.
Yeah.
It's funny as I'm doing this, like this is like episode 3 of my podcast. I'm like, man, I've got like all this nice gear. It's professional. It's like set up. And now it's like I moved your shot slightly. So I see my camera and I'm just like, fuck, bro. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I messed this up today. I'll never mess that up again. Bottom line.
It looks professional. I feel like I'm on a talk show. It's nice, you know?
That's
I feel
cool.
like I know what you're doing.
Well, that makes me feel good.
Yeah, you might feel like you don't know what you're doing, but you look like a professional to me.
Well, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's just like anytime you integrate new gear and shit, like you never fully know. There's always things you get better at, and as you get better gear, there's always just things that get better, and that's kind of comes around here. Like speaking of screen printing, like I know that there's some crazy stuff, like even like thin lines and designs and stuff like that. Like I actually wasn't super aware of this until like I even was in here and talked to you a little bit about just like overall design. But like, I know you do some small run stuff, but I think there's probably a reason someone would come here and be like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. And I know this because I've tried printing t-shirts that did not come out good before.
Yeah, I think I for the most part, I know what I'm doing, you know? I did a lot of tons of trial and error, you know. Now I got all this professional equipment, you know, large format exposure units and stuff, and it's cool and big help, you know. No longer using a light bulb hanging from a string. It's like, you know, it's cool. I just take my time. Sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to, but just keep trying again. And that's like the best part of me being here and owning the company, I guess, is like if I fuck up, no one's yelling at me.
It's on you.
Yeah, it's on me. No one's like, you idiot. And I'm just like, oh, no, you're an idiot. But like I'm yelling at myself, you know? And sometimes I do have mental breakdowns in the photo room. Like, you know, where I'm just like, why am I doing this? Why do I have a right to do this? Leave this to professionals. Call Dogwig. You're raising an idiot. Like, you know, like why are people coming here? I don't know. But then it like works out in the end. Like I get it.
Well, I actually like there's this whole piece of it that you probably don't even think of, and I know we even talked about the concept of like calling yourself an artist. Like I shy away from it the same way you would, but at the same time, there's probably some artistry, especially you're working with ink and a canvas. Like it is quite literally art, but getting it on a t-shirt is you got to do it in certain ways, otherwise it comes out like shit. Like
yeah, it's like more manufacturing though. I don't know if it's art. There's art aspects to it, you know, pre-production stuff, doing the actual art and design, I guess. It's like more manufacturing. I find it like more industrial. Like even like Warhol said it's like an industry, you know. But like there are like screen printing artists, like Jim Madison, he's a screen printing artist. Like that dude makes the sickest art from screen printing, you know. But like making t-shirts, more manufacturing standpoint, it's just like there's hard lines, hard steps, you know.
I think, you know, maybe I'm looking at it a little different in the sense where I see, like, I was going to ask you what's on your screen right now. We don't have to get into it, but it's like you're designing stuff throughout the day. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a little bit of fine line. You're designing a piece of clothes and stuff. And like, I'm not even trying to ham you up like that. I just think it's really interesting because like there's a lot of people who want to make shirts and want to do shit. But then there's a difference of like making a shirt and like making a shirt, and you've made it all yourself and you sourced everything and like you just have the process down.
Yeah, getting that process down is the hard part, finding what works for you. I used to work with Ian Beattie, and he had a process, and I pretty much followed that process. He has it down. That dude has it down. He's yelled at me enough, so I have it down. He's drilled it into my head. I've heard him screaming. Someone's shirtless yelling at me.
Bro.
Yeah, guy's a ball of fire. But, like, I learned, learned a lot from Ian. And then Alf Berg, too. Alf taught me a lot. Like, I knew how to screen print before I met Alf, but, like, I don't know. Something about Alf's process works out.
So what do you pick up from that? Sounds like it's process then.
What do you mean?
So, like, what do you pick up working with guys like that? Is it mostly just, like, they just have it sounds like it's just good process? Or like,
you just pick up, like, I don't know, you pick up a little thing from everyone that you work with, and then you're like, oh, wait, this is easier, or this isn't easier, or, like, I like the way I do it better, or you're like, oh no, this is a so much easier way to do it, I learned a lot. Like every time I print white ink, I just do it the way Ian Beattie showed me, and it always comes out fucking mint. The dude had it down, so if that worked for me, I used to do it a different way, and then Ian showed me a better way, and you just keep cultivating your skill.
I get that. I even had that when I was hosting events. Like even just the process of an event, it's so much work between like you set up, you break down, and between that, like you're actually running a stream, and then there's like YouTube uploads, and then there's thumbnails, and there's just all this shit, titles, descriptions. And I used to actually get this. I would set up and I'd do the whole tournament. And I would do all those things during. That's why I'd always push for good internet. I'd literally be uploading the YouTube as I'm recording this. And it's like that process was not something I knew at the start, but I got so good at because there's mad people out here doing live recording. So you'll see their process. Like I remember seeing a dude with like Photoshop pulled up for the first time as he had like the broadcasting software open. I just kind of, my mind was blown, and then it just turned into like my process. So where I'm just like, well, no, this is how it works. I get this stuff done. And I think that part of someone's business and everything else is effectively what makes you a part of it, because it's kind of like that irreplaceable part. Like I guess I see what you're saying with process. Like you just
it's like you just pick up different things from different people, or you learn on your own, and then you find the easiest way to do it. Because like you're not trying to like win a race, but you're not trying to struggle.
1,000,000%.
Like it's not about the quickest way you can get there. It's like the best way.
Efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like try to like remember that shit. Like we got this kid Landon that works here now, and Landon rules, but like I try not to be like, this is the way we do it, and this is the only way we do it. Like I don't give a shit how you do it, Just get it. Just get it done.
Yeah, as long as they're done correctly, and like And
I'm hard on him. I'm pretty hard on him. Like publicly shaming him on Instagram when he screws up, which is my favorite part. I hate that he screwed up, but the publicly shaming.
At least people know it wasn't you.
Yeah, I'm like, this is why your shirt's late. It's because Landon printed it backwards, But he's good. He's funny with it. He doesn't mind. I don't think he minds. He might hate me.
Well, so that's the tricky part though, man, is like it's still a skill. It's like being an electrician, being a plumber. Like if you don't know what pipe goes to what, you're gonna fuck someone's house up. Like it might not be as big as stakes with like t-shirts, but
yeah, it's definitely not as big as stakes as t-shirts, because sometimes I screw up and I'm like, fuck, and like this cost me $5, but then I remember like doctors screw up and people die. So it's not like it's like not a big. I'm like, it's not a big deal. There's no one bleeding out on this table. I just got red ink on a comfort color shirt, so I'll throw this to the side. Probably wear it later, But like,
could always be worse.
Yeah, at least I'm not burying a guy.
Yo, facts.
Yeah, right. Imagine being a brain surgeon. You're like, now they can't talk.
But yeah, man, within all that though, we hosted a party in here, and that was pretty cool. What was that, just last week? And that was like because you haven't been open that long, have you? Like this place?
We've been here over a year, but we weren't open. We were open like maybe 9 months now, 8, 9 months. The town was like a nightmare. you know?
Yeah, tell me about that, because you're definitely not zoned for merch here.
We're zoned for commercial and manufacturing, like retail manufacturing, all that stuff. But because there was a furniture maker in here before us and stuff, but like they were in here forever. I think they're in here for Flux Modern. They were here for a while. They got their own place in Ocean Grove now, I think. Ocean Grove or Bradley. I don't know, but it's like they got some sick mid-century modern furniture if you're into that. I am. But they had like tools and electric and power in here, and then like when we try to set up, the town's like, no, this all has to come out. Like we had to get all new electric. I was like, what? I'm like, how'd you pass the last people? Why am I getting screwed? I don't like, you know. But
how does that? Yeah, I wonder how that works. I wonder if that's just like, well, if you want the space, you want the space, and then they so just rent it or they don't.
Yeah, we just shoveled out more money and got the electric fixed, and it was, you know, every step of the way was a process with these people. You know, they didn't make it like super easy, but whatever. And maybe that's all commercial spaces. I don't know. It's my first commercial space, so. But like they could have made it easier. They could have been nicer. They were really cranky.
Yeah, I feel like that's just how it works, and all this crap is people have just been doing this shit for years, and they're just cranky. But that being said, yeah, we hosted a party here, and I was looking at your Dark City Manufacturing, your Instagram, and pretty humble beginnings. It looked like you were doing most of the work here in terms of like the literal work, like the space, like the way it's set up, between even just like that table,
me and my partner John Flanagan, we built everything. We did all the woodwork. Well, we had a licensed contractor do all the work for sure. We did, but the sheetrock, the painting, we lays out all the layouts and stuff. We had an electrician come in because I don't know anything about electric and I wasn't burning down a building, you know.
Yeah, you can't.
So so we had the electrician come in. He put in all new lights and all new breaker boxes and 220 outlets and everything we need to get moving, and that was cool. That went pretty good. It took forever, but like whatever, you know. We're here now. Like I was bitching about it 9 months ago, but now I'm like, oh, well,
who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit now? We're in here now. It's over. We're here now, you know. So it all worked out in the end, you know. But like, yeah, we built this place out. It wasn't like try to make the retail spot. I don't know. It was like super inspired by like early MTV. So like industrial but goofy, I guess. I don't know. Something that screams Kurt Loder.
I mean, yeah, you got the boards, you got great wallpaper, you got that old ass TV.
Yeah, tons of skateboards.
My gear that I didn't put away for this shot that I'm taking right now. That probably looks like shit.
I hope it's in the photo. I hope people are like, man, that's a lot of gear.
It is. I mean, well, a lot of it's off to the side, you know what I mean? But it's like you could see that thing like right on the stage there.
We're good. It's all DeWalt. You know?
Yeah, dude. I get
shout out to DeWalt.
Shout out to DeWalt.
Send us some shirts.
Yeah, we'll get some DeWalt shirts going.
I need some yellow drills.
But yeah, the thing I like here though is it's really inconspicuous because you wouldn't know this is a retail spot. Meanwhile, it's like we had a party. There's mad people in here for a duration of time, and there's people going all on the racks over there. And actually,
yeah, we had 127 people here.
You got a final net? Like, that's like an actual tally?
Yeah, it was a fucking nuts. How insane is that?
It's pretty
I thought 30 people were going to show up. Maybe. Well, 30, if I minus my mom and my friends, 22.
Bro, at like 7:15, I saw there was like 5 people in here, and I was like, I know it's early, but like, yeah. You know, I don't know.
And I was like, I told Mike Solomon, I was like, yo, get more burger stuff. I was like, why? You only making 50 burgers? What the hell's wrong with you, Mike? I was all nervous. He wasn't be enough food. And then I was like, oh, no one's going to show up, and Mike's going to have 40 pounds of beef sitting in his cooler. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. And then everyone started showing up, and then I didn't see Mike for about 3 hours, and he was sweating over there making burgers. And then I was like, good idea, Mike. You're having a lot of fun cooking burgers. They were great burgers, but I was like, felt bad. He's behind the grill the whole time. So he's like,
that's how it works.
He came to me, he's like, let's have a party. We're going to have a great time. And he worked the whole time.
I feel that, bro. That's how it works out here. I mean, you know how that is. You run a business. Anytime you run something yourself, like you just sometimes put in the hours. This is actually, admittedly, like my end of things. I just did a little DJ stream. Not super hands-on. It could be as hands-on as I want it to be, but like I did super hands-on. But like, you know, when you're cooking food, you gotta sweat unless you're getting staff there, which he didn't really. You know, he had at least a hand there to help him.
That dude ruled.
Dude, yeah, he's a very cool guy.
I think his name was Lenny. for some reason.
No, it wasn't Lenny.
Wasn't it? It's beginning with an L?
You're putting me on the spot here because I was just going to say it. I'm trying to remember. It'll come to me. I'll remember before we finish.
I hope so. That guy fucking ruled.
Yeah,
he's like the coolest.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, so within that party though, is like you get a little bit of like, this is a community spot. Like this is a corner of town. Like actually, I don't know how much you really want to talk about it, but I think even the difference between you have like your screen printing brand, which is off the rails.
Yes.
Asbury Park, which is like.
We changed it because the town was like, we don't like dark city manufacturing and we wanted to do like business with the town. So we got another one for off the rails screen printing because we're like right on top of the railroad tracks. You could probably hear the train now depending on how good this microphone is. But so we changed it and then the town didn't do business with us anyway. So that was a fucking waste of LLCs. But yeah, so now we have 2 businesses in one and we don't have great signage. So we're like those hipster bars with no signs. We're like, we only serve martinis.
Bro, it's literally just, I don't know. I'll link the Instagram so anyone can check. But like on the outside of the wall, just like a blank ass, like what's it, green or like some dark ass
it's
paint.
just ugly green. And it's so funny. Like someone decided to paint this building this green. Like they looked at a bucket of paint and said, "No, this is the color."
Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, they're like and then even the painter's probably like, "You sure?" And the guy's like, "Fuck you, do you think I'm sure?" So sure.
Yeah, dude, he was like, on that day.
He's like, paint the building forest green, the whole thing, no accent color.
All of it, yeah.
The whole thing looks like a fucking camo stand. It's crazy.
It's a cool though. It does give you the sense that you're like, because you're like down the street. Like there's Cookman, which is like if anyone knows Asbury, like Cookman's like the street that's like all the bougie, the nice stuff, very
Rebel
expensive
supplies over there.
Yeah, man, all the stuff. But like, you know, this is, I don't even think it's half a mile, probably quarter-mile walk. Like. A little bit of a different part of town.
We're conveniently located behind the world famous Razzle Dazzle laundromat.
Yeah, everyone knows where that is.
Yeah, everyone knows where that is. It's world famous. We were gonna put that on a shirt. I might still put it on a shirt.
I think that's a great shirt. There's a lot of cool shirt ideas, and I think that's kind of what I think is neat because you're kind of just running it for the hell of it. Whoever comes in gets one, and it's cool. It's like this limited run thing, but it's really just like. Just because you're here, you can do that. Like, I know you want to do online retail, but like, it's not, that's just like one of those things, obviously, as a business. Like, yeah, do online retail. But
I feel like I'm forced to do online retail. I don't really want to do online retail. I just feel like people want online retail. Like, I don't think people want to, like, they're like, oh, I love that shirt, but I have to drive there. And I'm like, and they're like, motherfucker.
The thing is, though, is think about the person who just really fucks with this and maybe they're a little inspired by what you're doing and all that. And it's like, they live in Iowa or something, you know what I mean? Like they're just nowhere where they're going to be able to come here, but they'll be like, yo, Trash Mountain, that's kind of fire. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, Trash Mountain's fire as fuck. But yeah, no, that's why we have to set up the online stores and like get the thing going. But I'm terrible with websites, so I'm gonna force my brother-in-law Nico to do it. Like, just be like, get this done. I hate every part of this. Just set it up so it's easy because I'm stupid and I'm gonna screw it up. So make it foolproof. Like that's it. I'm not good with computers.
Well, websites are a little tough, so I'll give it to him on that. Especially retail, like the online stuff is what do you call it? E-commerce. E-commerce is actually pretty tough. Like
it's confusing.
Well, there's just like a lot of different like the way you transfer the money and the way
fees.
Like,
there's so many fees. I got fees for being there, fees for going, fees for selling, fees for buying. It's nuts. $20 T-shirt turns into $24. Don't even know where these dollars are going. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's actually true, and that's a big kind of shit about these T-shirt manufacturing things. And that's like kind of what I was like. I was even alluding to earlier. Like you could get shirts printed online, and it's like you'll probably get what you want, but like there's levels to everything. You know, I mean, if you go online, you're paying all these additional fees, everything else that pop up, plus you're getting like whatever quality of shirt they run off of whatever crazy printer versus like. I don't know. I mean, how much design do you think? Like, it looks like you do a lot of design. Like,
I do too much design. I do so much design. I'm overwhelmed with design. I'm like vomiting design.
Do you like, it seems like, because like, I don't know how much you do it. Like how much someone will hand you something and say, hey, make the shirt versus how much you get it and you say, oh, I'm going to have to do this, that, the other thing. And this will look good.
There's been like instances where like people, so like Katie from Gold Rush on Bangs, we do all their merch and like, honest to God, I don't even think I'd be like where I'm at right now without Gold Rush coffee. Not for the caffeine content, but for the amount of money they spend with me. They're like the chillest people. But they come in and Kay's like, yo, I got this idea. Sit down, we're gonna hash this out. And then I'm here for like 4 fucking hours. Abdullah, her husband, snoring on the couch. She's yelling at me, barking orders. But they get done and they look sick. And like we work it out as a team. It's like, you know, it's like the championship bulls. We're just out here killing it, destroying it. But she's got like the game plan in her head. She's got the idea in her head, and I just like, I'm kind of like, she's like I'm the paintbrush and she's the hand. I don't know. She's like flicking me around. But
Bro, I get that. That's cool.
Which sometimes is nice because I don't have to think. So like we get all that stuff done, and she gets a whole collection done, and then it just goes right like to production. And she like also we get her samples. She likes to source really good things. But then you also get like the clients that come in. They're like, we need a T-shirt. I'm like, of what? They're like, I don't know. And you're like, what? And they're like, just give us a T-shirt. It's for our business. And I'm like, okay. So like, simple text or something. They're like, I don't know. And I'm like, tell me. Just tell me. I'm not a mind reader. Like, I'm not Chris Angel. I can't just pull things out of like I just can't do. You know, I'm just not a mind freak out here in the street pulling out ideas. Like and then like. I know what I like as a designer, and I like, you know, I make things for myself and I make things for other people. And there's other people that are like, yo, I really like what this idiot's doing. So they hire me and I do their work and I do their design work. But then like other people, they're just like come in and they explain something that they want, but it's not in my forte. Like it's not what I do. It's not like my design style. And so I'm good at emulating other people's style. Some people call it being a ripoff, but whatever. I don't give a shit. Pay me. You know, but they have to come in, they have to tell me what they want, or I don't know. But there are so many instances where people come in and they're like, just like, I don't know. And I'm just like, God help me. I'm gonna walk onto those railroad tracks. But then we just hash out, we get it done. You know, sometimes it's like 400 revisions. Sometimes I type like, I don't know, Bond Street Cafe, Times New Roman on a black t-shirt. And they're like, yo, you killed it. And there's high fives, people are dabbing me up. I feel like I won the goddamn championship, and it's just like, this took me 5 seconds. And other times people are like, you could like paint the Mona Lisa, and they're like, I think she should have a mustache. And you're like, what? Bro. So it's just, you know, it's all over. Some people are more prepared than others, yeah. But
100%.
It's the worst part of the job, actually.
Dude, dealing customers is tough. I'm saying this outwardly as I like use this podcast to shill my business of podcasts, but I will tell.
Use me, but I hate you.
It's not even that I hate you. It's just, it's tough, man, because a lot of times, like, you know, I did a little production for a doctor's office. They basically did like a little seminar around like gut brain stuff, and it was really cool. But like I go there and I first talk to the doctor, who's like this really cool lady, and she's just like, you know, I'm talking to her. She's like, oh, you know, like I wanted some videography. I'm like, oh, well, like I won't have the videographer or whatever, but like I could do X, Y, Z. She's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. That sounds cool. You just do that. And I'm just like, well, yeah, because most people don't even know it's possible. But you as like, you know, the paintbrush, as you will, like, you know where those bristles are going to be able to hit. Like most time people just don't know that, but they just know they want something cool.
Yeah, and people don't realize like the time it takes to like make something this one. I think everyone thinks I'm an AI bot where I'm just like, they're like, make me a shirt. And I'm like, computing. And I'm not computing. Actually, what I'm doing is having an ADHD K-hole moment. I'm just staring, you know, scrolling. I have to like, and like just staring at the blank computer, just going like, work. Why? Like just some days are easier than others, you know, but like we get it done.
That's cool, man. I mean, you're staying inspired somehow. And honestly, I'll just chalk it up to you got a nice place here. Honestly, I love the idea of community building, and even like
that's what we're here for.
100%, man. You got to do it. And I think that's like the foundations of real business. Otherwise, we will just be AI bots. You won't be able to tell the difference. Like, what does it matter?
Well, like, I don't know. Growing up at Asbury Park was like the coolest fucking place to go to. Like 2004 to like 2000, I don't know, 12.
It's changed a lot, bro.
It's changed a lot. But I remember like a lot of the stores, they have like parties and stuff, and the Asbury Lanes were super cool. You know, and you had all these super cool clubs, and there was like more like things to do. And like now you come here, it's like, I don't know if it's a after COVID thing or like what, but like people are closing earlier. There's not a lot of things to do. People are saying they're bored. I'm like, how the fuck can you be bored in Asbury Park? You know, there's like a million things to do, but then you realize everything's closed at 8. So it's like, I don't know. We're just trying to be.
I don't know what that is. I think maybe it's just retail in general sucks.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. I'm stupid to open up a retail store, really.
Well,
Like, you know, I should just start online. I could have been doing this out of my living room.
Well, the thing is so technically, if you want to think about it like that, like this could be your living room, right? I mean, I think we're in a pretty.
I've slept in here.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like we're in a time now where you could put yourself out there, do what you got to do, and you're like in your local space, but you can bridge it out if you want, or even you just want to put it out there so someone could like perceive it as like its own separate thing versus like you know, like, oh, I'm just building an online shop or I'm just retail. Like, you got to be a little flexible. And that's why I like that you have like a space that you made work versus like, oh, I'm getting a retail shop and I'm going to sell mad shirts. Cause like, I just don't think it works like that. Really.
No, I don't know. I just like having the retail space is nice because it's not really a retail space. It's more of a space for me to sit. Really, you know, I come here, I kill these plants that I bought. I'm super good at that. I water them too much, don't water them enough. I can't get it right. They're not fully dead. They're coming back. It's gonna work. You know, my friend Brian's been helping me out. Mostly just text me, remember to water your plants. But yeah, I just like wanted it. It's just like a place for people to come, you know, because like I feel like you don't see anyone anymore. It's like super weird. Everyone's like at home, and then like getting together. I guess it's because we're getting older and people are having babies and shit, and then you have to like, I don't know, everything's timing. So I feel like if I had a place where people like could just go, centralized location, people just stop, and like people just stop by. Like my friend Vinny DiStefano just walks in once in a while, camera in hand, chilling, comes here, tells me about his adventures. It's like one of the highlights of my month is when Vinny walks in.
That's fire.
Yeah, we get to catch up. Fucking just comes in like 12. You know,
bro, don't anyone like just never underestimate power community, bro. You do whatever you want in that. That's what I think what makes a party fun, because that's just it's got to be a party.
Oh
like,
yeah.
The second it's not, then it sucks.
But it's fun having this space, you know. The people that come in, and you get to meet a lot of cool people, and then like you really like cherish the breakup time between work and like dealing with some clients, you know. Like I love when Casey from Rebel Supply pops in. She's fun. She's like good for a 45-minute conversation, you know.
Yeah, you always know.
Yeah, just her yelling at me, really. She's just telling me about her crazy day. Some crazy customers, like, it's cool. You know, breaks up the day. It's just, like, super relaxing knowing you have a place to go, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, man, believe it or not, we've been going for 30 minutes.
That's crazy. It feels like 10 minutes. I'm super nervous. I don't know what to do with my hands. I feel like I look fat on camera. I'm super nervous. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, the camera's looking at me. It's super weird. So I think that's why time's passing me by.
Honestly, I'm looking at the monitor right now. You look beautiful, man.
Thank you, dude.
You're good.
I didn't shave because I felt like I got a good enough scruff and I didn't want to be looked too, you know,
you
there's
got
a lot to it.
Scruff.
I should have got a haircut. My mom's going to be pissed.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, man, it's funny is I don't even think I really covered everything I wanted to, but also like I don't want to say I won this, but like we kind of moved the time a couple times. Like this is, I don't know how to stress this. This is pretty informal.
This went perfectly. Informal, you're out of your mind. This is the most professional thing I've ever done.
Dude, it's so funny.
You came in with camera, set it up, made me comfortable. I feel like this is good. It's like so much better than going to Sears, you know, getting your picture taken.
Bro, that's fire. I'll take that too, because sometimes I'd be in Sears with a lot of anxiety as a kid.
Same. I have anxiety all the time, and this is a little anxious, a little nervous, kind of nervous being in front of camera, but like
I think that's why like I've gotten good at this, because I've spent a lot of time anxious and fucking nervous in my time, bro. So it's just like I don't want to bring that to anyone. And like I know I got cameras, which is like the number one and a microphone, number two top things that make people anxious. Like
yeah, dude, it's so crazy. I was fine, and then you like started talking to me, and I was like, oh shit, he's doing the podcast now. And now I'm like, and then I was like, oh, what do I do? I got all nervous.
Honestly, bro, honestly, it came together over time, which I had a feeling it was going to.
Yeah.
I just missed that button, so it was like the cameras are awkwardly on you for a second.
Oh, that's cool.
That was like the first main mistake.
Oh man, I hope I wasn't doing anything weird with my face.
No, you were just looking at me. It's cool. But all right, dude. I don't want to like be here all night because
we could be here all night. I got nothing to do.
Well, we'll do that another night. Honestly, bro, stay tuned, because I mean, this space is really cool, and as someone who's also cultivating a lot of community stuff, like I even appreciate you having something like this, because this is like I said, I think a lot of people undervalue the power of just having like a communal space where you get to share even just ideas or even just like a thought with someone for a day. Like that's a pretty cool deal.
It brings in cool people, dude. Like the other day, this dude Bert just walked in. He was like, something like he worked for X Large like in the 90s. It was like telling me all these crazy stories. He worked for Stussy. He had like worked with Supreme, like high up. It was like crazy. And I'm like, what? And I didn't believe him. And then saw like magazine articles about him, and like this Japanese spread, like a Japanese magazine that had a spread. It's just him in like a Public Enemy shirt, just chilling, hat backwards. I'm like, yo, that's that guy who walked in. He wasn't lying.
That was today in the store?
Yeah, it's so crazy, you know?
Bro, you got a good thing going here, man. I'll be kind of stoked to even get another, like, part, like, I don't know, whenever we do that, if we do that. But it's a vibe, bro. I mean...
No, let's do another party. I'm so for it. Someone come to me with ideas.
So, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just kind of pull up. You just don't know what happens. I mean, you just have a cool space. You vibe. You get energy going around. And, like, whether you believe in that or not, like, I don't know. It just works how it works. But, dude... Good shit.
That was a good business handshake. That's what I imagine happens in boardrooms.
Bro, perfect. That's actually a great way to end it then.